All right, welcome to the SnydeReport. I'm your host, Gary Snyder. With me today is celebrity chef David Rose. During the holidays, there's nothing like sitting around the table and sharing family stories over a spread of comfort food. It's that meaningful connection that makes these yearly traditions so important and what families look forward to. Dave, why don't you kind of take us through who David Rose is and what you're doing?
Okay, yeah. So thanks so much for having me, Gary. I appreciate it. So who I am, what am I doing? Representing Omaha Steaks in this beautiful, balmy Atlanta day today, talking about delicious proteins. And I film a lot with Today's Show, GMA, Good Morning America. The list goes on. Represented many brands across the world, nationally, and food, grilling, steak, a little bit of fitness and TV. That is my world, and it's a world I enjoy being in.
I need to work on the fitness part.
I believe in you, Gary. I believe in you.
I, I tell people I played football way back in the day at Ball State, and I'm
Okay.
still at my playing weight. It's just the
Yeah.
proportions are a little different now.
Percentages are kind of a little off, a little skewed since then.
Well, as we get heading towards the holidays here, just a couple of weeks away from Thanksgiving and Christmas just right around the corner. Obviously,
Yeah.
my family makes sure we're all Christmased out, November 1. But let's just start at
You're
the
ready.
top with we are with preparation. What do we need to know when it comes to planning and meal prep for the big holiday meal? Because I am as guilty as hell as this. I will have all the food ready to cook and no preparation.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, being a chef, my biggest tip for you is planning ahead, making sure you're planning ahead and simplifying your holiday meal planning with Omaha Steaks, allowing us to do the heavy lifting and make it a breeze. So what that means, Gary, is always at any given time have different proteins ready to made, heat and serve sides ready to go in the freezer. So that way, you always have that extra gas. You could pull something for the fridge from the freezer because when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So be prepared and plan ahead.
When you take a look at planning ahead, is
Yeah.
that something that I mean, I have stuff getting done at different times. Maybe something's cold,
Mhm.
maybe something's not. How do I take care of that?
Yeah, so what I do is a mixture of two different things. Having an organized kitchen is an efficient kitchen and a much more delicious and just, beautiful bite. So what I like doing is I make a food prep schedule that starts 4 days out from Thanksgiving. So on that fourth day, I'm already thawing out this beautiful turkey in the fridge. And what I like doing is I like to be as stress-free as possible on the day of. So a lot of my desserts, a lot of my gravies, sauces, glazes, my breads, my baked goods, my sides. I try to make them the day before. So that way I'm focused on the big boys like the turkey, the roast, the ham. So that way, day of, I'm going ahead, I'm reheating things. And I know 1 o'clock, putting the turkey in the oven, 2 o'clock, the ham, 3 o'clock, the sides, and 4 o'clock, the desserts, where everything's tiered out. So you're bringing out stuff piping hot. You're also allocating that precious room and space in the oven to make sure everything's being done efficiently and everything is hot. That's one. Number two, people, for some reason they think I'm hosting, I have to make every single thing from scratch. You can do that if you want to, which is fine. But if you want to keep it as stress free as possible, low stress as possible, I suggest taking some of those trademark items for your holidays. For me, oxtails and yams, but I might flesh that out with a couple pre prepared items and desserts from Omaha Steaks, like my favorite caramel apple tartlets. We
Oh,
got
those are
pumpkin
great.
pie, we have mashed potatoes, we have green beans. We're literally take the film off, heat and serve. It's already seasoned to perfection. At that point, all you're doing is heating, serving, and most importantly, enjoy.
And it's just like home cooked too. I've had all of
Yes,
that, and it's you can't tell if I've made it or if Omaha Steaks has.
exactly. It tastes just like grandma made it. Maybe not your grandma, but a grandma that can actually cook, but it has that homemade deliciousness. You're right.
Hey, Dave, can you hold through a quick break?
Sure can.
You're listening to the Snide Report. I'm your host, Gary Snyder.
Washington politicians came to Indiana to get us to cheat and redraw our legislative maps. They want you to spend millions so they can rig the system and silence your voice. Hoosiers play fair. We don't need their meddling. We need our elected officials focusing on what we need most, making our lives better, lowering taxes, and bringing down the cost of energy and groceries. So tell your legislators, don't let Washington insiders rig our elections. Solve real problems and earn our votes.
All right, this is the part of the Snide Report where we thank our sponsors, and we have a growing list. So let's start with Robin Winston. Robin has been there when we first sent out our first email, 147 subscribers. We're now over 108,000. So thank you, Robin Winston, and helping us get the podcast going in the right direction. Next up is our good friend, former Congresswoman Jill Long Thompson. Her book, Across the Aisle, Why Bipartisanship Works for America. Get that anywhere you buy your books. Also, former two-term governor, two-term U.S. Senator Evan Bayh. Evan has been a sponsor of the newsletter, now jumps on board with the podcast. Congressman Andre Carson. Congressman Carson has been there from the start. We're glad to have him over here on the newsletter now. He needs your help to win re-election next year, so make sure you support Congressman Carson. Next up, State Representative Cherish Pryor. Cherish has been there from the start on the newsletter, joining us on the podcast now. So is State Senator Greg Taylor. I want to thank Senator Taylor for all of his support through the years. Next, we have a couple of new sponsors. First up is Indiana Citizen. You want to check out their new project, One Heartbeat Away. Do Christian nationalists have an agenda for Indiana? You know, all you have to do is look at the lieutenant governorship and you can see right away that they do. So thank you, Indiana Citizen. Next up is Jump Laundry. You can visit them at jumplaundry.com. They have home pickup. They do your dry cleaning, wash and fold with, I might add, no judgments, and next day service. So if you're in a crunch for time, you don't want to do your own laundry, get a hold of Jump Laundry at jumplaundry.com or at 317-740-5011, and they will take care of all of your laundry needs. All right, welcome back to the Snide Report. I am your host, Gary Snyder. Today we are speaking with celebrity chef David Rose. And you have all that great food around you there. The holidays are sentimental for a lot of people, especially the food. What's
Yes.
your suggestion for dusting off some of the nostalgic family recipes? What are some of your family holiday traditions?
Yeah, for sure. So coming from a big Jamaican family, a lot of Jamaican food was a part of my holiday enjoyment, whether it be oxtails, whether it be curry goat, curry chicken, jerk chicken. So my table might look a little different to yours, but those are the flavors, those are the smells that kind of put me back into that time machine of flavor. So those things are always going to be at my table. But for the more traditional items, like your turkey, like your roast, like your hams, they're great, they're delicious as is, but a great way to kind of level up those dishes, so to speak, is making a nice savory glaze. One of my go-to for turkeys is a peach and rosemary glaze. Use that
Did you
thick,
say peach
jammy
and
peach.
rosemary?
Yes, peach rosemary. It's one of my published
Wow.
recipes on the website. So you use peach marmalade, you use fresh minced rosemary, a little bit of stock. So you get sweet, savory, sticky, herbaceous, and the way it lacquers and makes that turkey just glisten and shine. It's a thing of beauty, Gary. You know, different gravies, different sauces, different types of marinades, just to kind of, elevate it and make it a little bit more, make it a little more signature, that signature touch, that signature kind of twist, to kind of put that culinary stamp on it.
I will need to check out that recipe.
Check it out. It's on omahasteaks.com.
Okay, so meals aren't the only thing that can be stressful during the
Yeah.
holiday season. What are your thoughts on favorite gifts for loved ones, holiday hosts, or colleagues?
Yeah, we all know at least that one person or persons that is just a nightmare to try and buy their gift. What do they want? They have
That's me.
everything. You don't know what they want, but we take the guesswork out of the equation. This is right here what people want, Omaha Steaks. And what we have right now is a delicious festive gift package. It includes free burgers, top sirloin, jumbo franks, pork chops, and of course, these beautiful caramel apple tartlets right there. Those are one of my favorite, but I gotta say, even though the holidays, you want to have your turkey, your roast, your ham, filet mignons are a go-to, one of my favorite, and they have the distinction of being USDA certified, very tender designation. So beautiful, luscious, falls just, evaporates in your mouth. So all those things right here, guaranteed 11 out of 10 times, they will love it. They will love it.
They will. I have some of the apple tart setting out to cook tonight because
See, you
my
already know.
I keep that freezer full. I've tried the Omaha Steaks once, and I've been hooked
Huh?
ever since.
And what I love doing with it is I like doing either a salted caramel or vanilla ice cream, and I do a bourbon vanilla bean caramel sauce with that. Another recipe on the website. So good. That warm, that hot, that crusty, that cold. It's just contrasting and complementing flavors all throughout.
Where can viewers of this or my listeners find out more information on you and Omaha Steaks?
Yes, so for all the recipes, tips, tricks, and all your holiday shopping, go to omahasteaks.com. And to find out a little bit more about me, Chef David Rose, that is Chef David Rose on Instagram, TikTok, X, and chefdavidrose.com. Or you can Google me. I'm not hard to find.
The Google machine will
The
find
Google
you.
machine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gary. Have a good one. Appreciate it.
I am Gary Snyder. He is not. He is Chef David Rose. This is the Snide Report, and we are out.